Good night, fellow punchers. The clock on the wall is 12:15 on Sunday night. Galway Festival over for another year. Went to bed this morning at 20 to 7. Woke about 9:15. Was absolutely wiped. So I said there'd be no Galway. Head back on the pillow. Woke up at 11 o'clock. Flying for him. Off to Galway I went. It was raining all the way. It was the first time ever I brought an umbrella with me. Normally I don't do that. I remember last October, 12 months, I was halfway to the Champions Day in Leopardstown and I turned back the far side of Athlone. It was pelting rain. But I just had in my head, yeah, let's go, let's see it. Field was holding up well in the parking area. I thought it would be all muck. It wasn't. It's dry. It's up at the top of a hill. Got there early enough. Met a few asking me what was the nap of the day, so I told anyone I met flicker of hope. In fact, on the way in, an old timer said to me, "Do you want a ticket? He had a spare ticket." And I said, "I appreciate it, thank you." And I said, "Now back flicker of hope." I told anyone in the casino last night that asked me, including Julian, the manager, to give them one for today. That was flicker of hope. So the pressure is on then, and you begin to say, "Jeez, I hope this comes in." So there was it opened at 12 yesterday. I missed that. Got 8s and 6s, and it was 4s on the course. So I had another cut at it, and I went each way. 3-figure sum each way. Normally I don't do that, but I was pretty sure it wouldn't be out of the money, barring an accident. One bookie, I had a good few pound in my pocket, and I said to him, "It's great to be playing with bookies' money." He says, "Keep coming back here." He says, "You're very welcome." I says, "I'll be back when I'm putting on the big bet." Like that to him. "You're very welcome," he says. So I'm back to him anyway. He didn't say thanks or not too much when he was paying me out a while later. Chatting to a good few today. A few of the lads from Boyle was in it as well. It was family day. It was a pity it was raining so much, and never seen as many kids in covered in pushchairs as today. It was a pity it was raining for them. And you couldn't even stop. There was good Irish music on there this evening before the last race had started. That you couldn't shut out. It was raining and it was windy as well. But we had the bad festival. Not too bad. We came out ahead. Yesterday's nap and today's nap was key to it, I suppose. They had a few big prize winners. We had a few each way places as well and a few unlucky ones. I went playing poker there this evening, or went into the casino, but there was only a satellite for Killarney, and I'll be on the road that towards the end of August. So I declined to play. I went around looking to see could I find any menu with custard on it in a few different places, but so I had to settle for. I got the bird's custard ready to pour on the way home. I looked about before the Errol's race to see Martin Sheridan. Was he around? I couldn't spot him. But you know thou dubs, when they head across outside the pale, they get a bit soft, and then when they cross the Shannon, when they see a drop in the rain, they don't know what to do. They were like sheep in the shelter there today, so I couldn't spot them. But I met them after a couple of races later outside the parade ring. They're in good form. Big Kinslow was with him as well. He'd be happier now, I'd say, on a high stool with a pint of stout in front of him. But they're good crack. Probably Earls will need to go down a few pound in the handicap to be competitive again. Ran on to be 7th. As Martin said, if he finished 6th, it was 2,000 for 6th. Forever thinking of the money, Martin. Good man. But I've met Paul from Clare, Galway, and McManus, the teacher from Loughrea. Can't remember your first name. Once the first race there today, we were on by the same token. 14 rand, they were paying 4 places, so we got a place. I think it was 6-1, 13-2 around that last night. Never a dull moment. We backed that before. And the breeding, I thought, with the ground the way it was, because it was soft, my mailer, remember the day we were on it, were Bet Be a Nose, wasn't that? This is in Naas, the 29th of January 2023. It was a big gamble on that day. I think it was 7 into 5 to 2 in O's. We weren't on him then when he won, I don't think, last year. But he had good form that run behind. What am I doing here? Behind Percival Galwar over fences, and back over hurdles today. And that angle back from the chase back to fences, I just sort of ignored it. But he stayed on. We were left with a good bit to do with, by the same token. If there was a better jockey on that, I think we'd have been more competitive. Then the Daisy, Flicker of Hope. Can see the difference in a good jockey being on it. I read there that the reason they ran it at 2 miles was raced 107. He didn't think it'd get in to this race today because it was down near the bottom of the weights. But given a great ride, and when there was a fellow trying to get up on the inside there on the rail, he was aware to it and he gave him the bit of an urging to get on with it, and won by 6. He'll probably go up 10 or 12 pound for that. But that's 3 times that horse has won for us. That's only a 5-year-old. So, fair play to him. Delighted for Merrick Fahey. Took on the 2 Easy Game in Janadale with Monbeg Park, and that was 12s. Heap of money for it. Went off 11-4 second favourite. He was never comfortable looking, JJ Slevin. When he passed the first time, and even the second time, he wasn't at it. And Janadale, that's an awful disappointment altogether. I know many people I met afterwards, and I'm never back on that again. Hurricane Georgie stayed on well for Jack Kennedy. Jack is riding great. Sandwa, one of our anti-post selections for Cheltenham, which was ridden by none other than Merrick Walsh, and we backed it again in Punchestown, which was second, ridden by Merrick Walsh. Who gets the best tune out of it? Made all, Aidan Kelly. We were on the gamble of the race, but Bernacullia, but terrible. Didn't want to be there. Didn't want to know. Pulled up. Come on to the big race then, and the horse to take out of it was our horse, I thought. Grey Leader. Didn't get the break like it did the last day. But it's only a young horse, a 4-year-old. And it stayed on well to be 5th. So we got our each way money on that. But that was, when I won the last night, it was over 8.5 furlongs. That was 7th. It was really staying on well. That'll be interesting to see what does it go to Listowel. And coming back there next year as a 5-year-old, it'll be competitive in one of them in the mile race. I would imagine if it stays healthy. This one came out of the clouds altogether to win on its second start. It had run a couple of barrier trial races as well. Right and through, looked to be going well on the turn for home. Ran well enough, but given the weight away, 9 to 7 pound, sort of curtailed that chances. Silky, do you remember when we backed that? We backed it the day when the last run it had for Tommy Stack. And who bet it? Alto Sachs to then a claimer. Switch yards then, and 4th the last day, drifted out I think from 12s out to 20s. Rory Cleary got a tune out of it today towards the end, 28-1, and 'twas the reserve as well. And you know what? I didn't even know it was included in the field. It was pissing rain at the time when I was chatting. I think that was when I was chatting the books. We were on finished 6th. We're paying 4 places. Estimate of Ireland, but drifted. And the bumper, Martin Sheridan says to me, Gavin Cromwell is going to win the bumper, and to right he was. That's the 3rd bumper I was won with the passing wife. So all told, not too bad of a week for us. I think I never calculated how we finished. If I get a chance, maybe Tuesday, I must check it. Tomorrow, there's a tricky little race in Ripon. It was won last year by Bay Breeze. Off 80, wasn't it? 84, and he's 73 now, so that's £11 lower. It ran well in first time cheek pieces the last day in York. The only thing about it is last year when it was drawn 3 and there was only 4 in the race, and it got the rail, and this time it's drawn in trap 1, and that will be on the outside. So I only noticed that in the last few minutes, that when you're drawing trap 1 and Ripon, that you're on the far side. So I'm thinking if you got the rail, now if you can get out and get the rail, because if we look at this, his 10 stone as against 9.3, so that's £11 of a difference, and it was behind International Girl when it won in Ripon. And it was getting £1, and the handbrake was on. With the big weight allowance, if we can get out on the rail tomorrow, it could be hard bet.
Joining you down towards the final 300 yards. Strong Johnson still there. Fortimore and Westmorian wider out. Sybil Charm not going on.
Can't go anywhere there.
International Girl, another Richard Fahey trade runner in front from about Strong Johnson. Fortimore running on down the middle of the course. International Girl holding about though at Fortimore, and it's another one for Richard Fahey. 3 on the night here at Ripon. International Girl about Fortimore. Strong Johnson.
He wouldn't need a shower after that effort, David Allen. But with the big weight pull there, if we can get the rail cut across maybe, because they are 10 stone and 9 stone 10, 9 stone 3, might get the job done. The main bet tomorrow is in a handicap hurl race in Cork, 2 miles, 2.5. The favourite is Thana Law, who won a maiden in, was that in Bellestown, wasn't it? For Ted Walsh in the wife's colours, Helen. Bellestown, yeah, it was 2.5. Won well enough, but if you consider it was rated 64 on the flat, so put 40 on top of that, 104. So it's rated 108. So it's just about right, you'd imagine that. But the one I like is Harley Street. This won a maiden for Aidan O'Brien, 1.5 miles, and was 6 to Zoffman first time out. Handbrake on a couple of times there, went off even money behind Redstone as well. Handicap hurl handbrake on 103. The last day, even though it was beaten 12 lengths in Galway on Monday evening. It was in the same race. That's Flicker of Hope there. So a winner has come out of this race already.
Next on the inside of Son of
That's Harley Street there. He's not too busy.
Warriors creeping into contention. Then tell us this. Now stoked along on the outside is Flicker of Hope, followed by Edney from Nerny and Tankerstown Diva. Action Motion, followed then by Bud and Song.
He's nowhere to go there now. You see with the white hat.
Many in with chances with just over 3 furlongs to go. They're heading for the second last flight, and it is Clonbury Bridge joining issue with a ridden along Moonrise Beauty. In between them is Son of Hypnos and Harley Street, working out to Golden Sandbanks, and arriving there is Malbay Madness, followed then by Flicker of Hope, the second last. In the air together, as that the Bangor Doyle has been badly interfered with on the approach to 2 out. as Golden Sandbanks was also caught up in there as they run round the home turn, and Son of Hypnos leads on the turn for the final flight, followed by Clonbury Bridge, then Malbay Madness, Moonrise Beauty, Vicio is staying on from outside Great Division. That's Son of Hypnos gone clear with the Easy Fix handicap hurdle. It is Son of Hypnos and James Smith way out in front of Clonbury Bridge, Vicio next, followed by Harley Straight. It's one-way traffic in the Easy Fix handicap as Son of Hypnos one going away from Clonbury Bridge.
When he got clear sailing there, he tipped along nicely up the hill. Extra 2 furlongs to put him competitive tomorrow. Mark Walsh, if you're watching, just do it. Seven to 2, still with 365. Big discrepancy there, 11 to 4 and 9 to 2, 3 to 1 and 5 to 1. In Naas, there's one that I was sort of watching there. There's an each way bet. And it's an each way bet. Don't be sticking it in, because this could fall out the back of the television, or it could run very competitive. The horse called Platino Bianco. Chris Timmins there. Paddy Harden had right, but he made a mistake. It was rated 57, and he stuck it into a listed race. It was only beaten 9 lengths, and the handicapper shoved it up. £11. Now, why in God did they do that? If we look at it here, this is him coming out of the stall, and he's in trap 12 in Cork.
Yeah, Dobbs RGB at Polonia Stakes.
That's him there.
And they're off. She's Quality might have lost about a length. Bonbon also was a little bit sluggishly into stride, but in the early stages,
it's gone over to the right.
Sweetest is well up there in the early stages with Cherry Blossom, and towards the stand side, Bonbon. Right over the stand side is the outsider Platino Bianco, showing good early pace. Shandy is just behind those, but towards the far side of the track is Matter of Fact. They're being followed by Heart of Darkness as they head on down past the
57.
And towards the far side, it's a Matter of Fact with Shandy. Upsides that one races Cherry Blossom. They're being followed towards the centre of the track by Bonbon with Sweetest. She's Quality towards the stand side, accompanied with Platino Bianco. Navassa Island travels well enough just in behind the lead. But as they head down towards the 2 and past the 2, and towards the far side, it's Cherry Blossom has come through to lead now for Wayne Lord, and goes on by a couple of lengths as they enter the final furlong and a half. For Matter of Fact, running on towards the stand side is She's Quality in company with Navas Island, but out in front as they race well inside the final furlong, it's Cherry Blossom and Wayne Lawn is out 2 in front. She's Quality and Navas Island both bearing down close home, but Cherry Blossom wins it by...
Like, if you consider, I'm not sure why they ran it in that race, but the horses that it split, like Sweetest was rated 79, this was rated 85, and 88 and 84, 85 and 90, they were all behind. So the fact that it's 57, like, that should be out in the next parish here to finish, and it wasn't, sort of shoved up. £11, and then the last day with first tongue tie, it was 40 to 1. It was dropped a few pounds from 868 down. But this is it here, different colours now. Keep an eye the way it finished.
And then Sierra de Gredos leave the land, and dropping out tamely is Finito Benito inside the final 2 furlongs. On the stand side, it's Limoncello Lady continuing to go along in front. Finishing off well is Repel with Grand Citadel, Noble Nation and Posh Maisie Weekends ahead of Woohoo, and it is Repel taking in the closing stages Limoncello Lady and then Grand Citadel and Noble Nation, and it's Repel away and gone from Grand Citadel, Limoncello Lady.
Repel repels them all in what looked a pretty competitive handicap on paper, but actually he's won really nicely in the end and returns 4 to 1 favourites from draw 16 for Bailey and Paul Flynn. That was a 302 at Navan. We're going to York for the big race of the day.
Oh, we're not. You can go to York anytime. It's a 12-to-1 shot to pay in 5 places. It's a 3-year-old as well, and it's getting a £3 allowance, isn't it? And they're all printed on Paddy Harney, Hartnett, claiming 2. It isn't the most competitive of races. I was looking for an outsider sort of just for an each way, and that's the one I came across. So, anyway, I'm talking a long time, I'm rambling on. Anyway, get this into the oven. It's 25-to-1. Not one bit tired, thanks be to God. But I could be tired during the week. But we have Roscommon and we have Sligo a couple of days, so I don't think I'm doing any bussing this week. So hopefully the weather clears up and I might get a few things done around the house. Bash the bookies over and out.